Good morning. This is the weekend update for Buy Sell Short for Saturday, July 12th. Another pretty interesting week this week. This market that is impossible to kill continued to rally. We had a little bit of a setback this week, although when you look at the grand scheme of things, the slight drop that we had, considering all the news that's floating around there, is just rather remarkable, and it just continues to really annoy and frustrate all the top callers who've been out there for the last year and a half, who continue to call tops and continue to be wrong. We had that midweek sell-off because of a big sell-off in European banks because of what happened in Portugal, and then the market just ignored it. Data came out saying, it's only $1 billion losses that they're up to. We had the Fed minutes come out. Easing is going to end in October. Market ignored that as well, and the volumes just really continue to be anemic as we make our way through the summer doldrums here in the market. Last couple of days, even though we saw the market kind of dead, some nice action actually in the small cap stocks. It's one of those markets, like I said in the PopScan email, the PopScan continues to put out really, really low readings. Not a whole lot of plays out there. It's a market where we essentially come in and look to see what the momentum is for the day, because the next day it's going to change, and it's just that kind of market. And until it changes, we're just going to trade that way. Not a whole lot of email alerts, mostly intraday stuff, and we're probably going to continue to see that into next week. Now, looking here at the Dow daily chart, you can see that we've got this uptrend line that we did breach on Thursday, but we recovered. We dipped again back to it on Friday and recovered. So we could possibly be forming a little triangle and would see a break. If we're able to break back above 17K again, they're going to look to push us to new highs. Dow transports looking really, really strong. Even though we've had these big volume sell-off days, we've been able to bounce back on the Dow transports, and we're looking at another possible all-time high break. And we continue to have these lower highs on the RSI, and you recall that we had that during the last wall of worry, and when we finally broke it to the upside, the Dow transports ended up adding on a nice little gain, about 300 points over the course of the following 3-4 weeks once it was able to break that. So if we do break this, we could be looking at 8,500 on the Dow transports. Russell, still very, very weak after that. We've continued to see a lot of selling in the small cap stocks and the high beta NASDAQ stocks, and that continued on Thursday and Friday. But we did see some pockets of strength out there, and I am enthusiastic that next week could be a very nice week for small cap stocks. I mean, in the chat room, lots of nice plays out there, lots of nice movement in stocks, and one thing to notice is we're not seeing a whole lot of stocks just completely sell off, just like the market. And typically when you see that kind of action, but the ETFs or the major indices not reflecting it, it usually means that we're going to see some sort of reversal. And if we look down here, we've got an extreme negative MACD on the MACD reading on the Russell. And each time we've seen that kind of MACD, we've seen a nice little bounce back. And to aid us in thinking that, we've got stochastics under 20 and curling up. So I think next week could be a very nice week for us in the market. 15-minute chart on the Dow, we don't really talk about it much lately because this back and forth, slow trudge higher. 15-minute chart really is not much help to us, although we've got a potential break coming up here. That it looks like 16,950 is the break, but I'd like to see that 17K level, and then you'll start to see the money flowing in. But some of the action that we saw last week, and an example of that would be Crumb, the cake play. They were actually buying this stock. It was at 3 cents on Thursday. They were paying 75 cents for it on Friday. And guess what happened, guys? Remember how I was talking about all the debt they have, and I believe shareholders would get squat? Chapter 11 bankruptcy and after hours. So, lot of money out there looking for a place to go. That is the positive thing. They just need somewhere to put it. And as we start to make our way through the end of the summer, we should start to see a lot of movement in a lot of stocks. As for plays, WaveX that we jumped into on Thursday Nice little pop on Friday. Street.com article came out. Chart looks great. But WaveX did what it's been doing over the last month. Did that pop. It was a Friday, and they slowly walked it all the way back down into the close. But we've got a positive MACD cross probably coming on Monday. Last 3 times we've had a MACD cross, we've seen very nice spikes in the stock. And as I've been saying, I think this stock's got some news they're sitting on, some good news, some deal news, and that's probably what's going to light this stock up when it comes out. AVNW. Now, if you've seen the move that DRWY did over the last 2 weeks, look at this, 70% move. AVNW is a pair, very nice rising wedge on this one. 125 would probably bring the chasers into this stock, and it's got really, really strong support at 115. So we've got minimal downside, very nice upside. You know, we get that break at 125, we could be looking at 135 to 150, depending if news comes or not. And we've got stochastics under the 20 level and curling up. So looking good on this one going into next week. DSS, disappointing stock. But you know what? Look where it trades. Scamex. Need I say more? Court case started last week. Kind of frustrating. Gave a little bit of a gain, but nothing much. We are looking at a positive MACD cross coming, and stochastics breaking 50. So if it's able to break that 145, 150 level, you could see a nice 10, 15% upside move. ICANN, another disappointing one, but hasn't broken that downtrend line. We just got in a little bit early on it. Downtrend line is now the 50-day moving average at 46. 46, 47 cents is a key level. 40 cents should hold on this one. I'd be very, very surprised if this stock broke 40 in this kind of market environment. It's just a matter of when, not if. I believe this stock goes on a big move, and you know it's got the potential for 50% upside here on sector momentum or news, or just everyone likes it all of a sudden and they rush in. Another stock to keep an eye on this week, Parkavision imploded on its patent case, getting kicked out. They refiled it. Coiling here for a very nice move. Going to be watching this one really closely on Monday for a 150 break, and this is also corresponding with a positive MACD cross. So the chart, stochastics looking good, is supportive of a possible, 25 to 40 cent upside move. So definitely a strong watch next week, and it looks like it has put that base in that we were looking for in the 120s. So 125 looks like a really decent stop point on this one if you're looking to jump in. Ideally, like to buy it on dips around 135 or under, or wait for that 150 break. So that's it for the video, guys. If you've got any questions, shoot me an email. Otherwise, I will see you all in the chat room on Monday. Have an awesome weekend. Bye.